What's up, everybody?
Welcome to the very first episode of Nardi's Neighborhood with me, your host, Nick Nardi, and like I said in the trailer, your creator of the podcast. I have a very special guest with me. It is someone I went to college with, and so I would like to introduce everyone to Miss Rachel Baccarella. Did I say it correctly?
Is that a question? It was a question. Yeah, you said it correctly.
Okay. um, awesome. And so I figured Rachel would be the perfect first guest because she does something I don't know anyone else to do, and it's pretty unique. But before we get into that, um, what's going on? How's life?
It's pretty average, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I sit in my house all the time. There's a pandemic.
But have you any new hobbies or anything to keep you busy?
I've been running a lot.
Really?
Running a lot. I've been in half marathon training for almost a year now. It takes a lot.
Really? Half marathon training?
Yeah, I did 11 miles this morning.
Jeez.
It was not fun. It was
I
crisp
think I
20 minutes
ran 11 total miles, like,
in your life.
yeah, well,
Yeah.
more or less. But so at the beginning of when we went over our little run through a couple days ago, I asked you to come up with 2 lies and a truth.
Oh, true.
So I have to, at the end of the show, guess what the truth is about you based on my questions and see if I can navigate and see through your bullshit. So
I got a lot of it. All right.
can't bullshit a bullshitter. Anyway, so pretty much if you want to go ahead and say what they are, so I can keep those in the back of my mind and keep an eye on what you're saying and everything, so I can guess at the end of the show.
One truth.
One
2 lies.
truth, 2 lies.
I set my parents' house on fire when I was in first grade.
That's something I can
Um,
believe.
That was too specific. I met Shania Twain, and I can play 5 musical instruments.
Okay, those are some interesting ones. So we got you can play 5 instruments. You set your parents' house on fire when you were in the first grade.
Yes.
Okay, okay, and you've met Shania Twain. I'll keep
Yes.
those in the back of my mind. But so again, when we were catching up, you I've just received your master's.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Number one.
So master's number one. So why don't you just like talk about yourself a little bit and what you ended up going to York for? We both went to York College of Pennsylvania, um, America's top 100 universities, colleges, and that's a lie. I'm just kidding. I don't know if I should even say that.
Top 100 in York County.
Yeah, top 100 in muggings per student capita. So there we go. So anyway, yeah. So like, what did you go to York for?
Criminal justice.
Okay. And were you involved in any hobbies or clubs or anything while at York?
Did I even do anything? No, I was the mascot at York, and all my other time was spent either working or drinking.
Okay, as a good college student should. So you were the mascot. Any detail on? Well, so our mascot was Screamer, but like he was new because we had an old mascot, or do you like do you know the whole story behind that?
So when I started at York and when I became Screamer, that was Screamer's inaugural year.
So you were the very first Screamer.
I was the first Screamer. Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Is that resume worthy?
Oh, I'd keep that on there.
Yeah, so that should be your like highlight.
School activities, mascot.
Yes.
Um,
The first.
the only, no, the first. You know what the Philly Fanatic looks like, right?
Yes.
It's, yeah. So Screamer looks like that, and the guy that was the Philly Fanatic, the original Philly Fanatic, and I think he must have been him for like 20 years or something ridiculous. Dave Raymond, he came in and he's the one that designed Screamer's costume
Oh,
and
really?
personality, and he trained all of us, and it was so awkward, and he like ran the auditions and like selected the people who were to be Screamer. There were four of us picked. It was
That's
super awkward, but
that's actually pretty interesting. I didn't even know that, and I was like a sport management major, and like
yeah,
so
they really should have made a bigger deal about that. Like they had the Philly Fanatic come in and design their mascot and
yeah,
spent a ton of money on it.
yeah, because oh, we had it was the Spartan beforehand, right? It was like
Yeah,
Spart.
it was Sparty, and it was
Yeah.
weird because it's a full costume, but he didn't have hands, so it was just whoever was in the costume, it was their actual hands, like their human hands. So it was like super uncomfortable.
Oh, you have such feminine hands, Sparty. Oh, jeez. But what was I gonna say? Okay, so if that is to give away anything, I guess it's safe to say now that, and we're not allowed for legal reasons to say uh, who she is, but Rachel, would you like to say what you currently do now?
I am a NFL mascot,
Okay,
free
that
time.
sometime that is awesome. So, like, you're an NFL mascot for a team that cannot be said, but how how does one get into that? Like, so you were Screamer, and then like you saw auditions for this role, and you wanted to take it, or you just word of mouth, someone told you about it.
Yeah, I'm just a person that just gets very lucky a lot, and I absolutely do not deserve it. But
Oh, don't say
um,
that.
I I have a friend from high school who worked for that team,
Okay.
um, and she saw the job posting and sent it to me. Knew that I was the mascot in college, and she's just like, "Ha ha ha! You should apply." Like, sure, why not? And then I actually heard back from them, and they had me come in and do an in-person interview, which I am horrible at first impressions
Yeah,
in as a human,
I
as a
can
human.
vouch for that.
Yeah, it's pretty honest. And then they called me back for an in costume audition in front of, I think it was like their marketing team or something. I don't know. It was an auditorium filled with maybe like 20 or 30 people. And the audition was very similar to my York audition.
Okay.
Uh, but so before I go in costume, I'm talking to the person that's like the lead mascot, and he's
Okay.
telling me that how expensive the costume is, it's custom made, the shoes.
So how much is the costume, or is that are you allowed to divulge in that?
But I don't know exactly how much the costume is. The shoes, I can tell you, were I think it's 1,500 a piece, like per shoe.
Jesus.
Um, so
Gee.
after the audition, keep that in mind. After the audition,
Okay.
taking the costume off, um, I did not realize I had a cut on my ankle, and I bled all over this like $1,500 white shoe, and I'm like, like I don't know what to do. I'm like, do I say something? What do I do? So I just took everything off, and then I threw everything in a corner, and I put the shoe with my blood on it in the bottom of the pile, and then I was like, thank you for having me. This is great. See you later. Like I'm not gonna. And then they called me back a couple weeks later. I got it, obviously, and everybody gets their own costume. And they gave me the full costume, the shoes, and they never said anything, but the shoes they gave me had my blood on it. They know.
I was just about to ask. So, like, did they give you a new pair of shoes, or did they just like they?
No, no, we just can never talk about that.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I guess now if you're anyone's at a game and they see the shoe, I guess they'll know which one it is,
At
which
least it's on the inside, so it's fine. It's fine.
oh, okay, okay, that's good then. But so like, did you ever do any like theater in high school or anything? Because I know a lot of it's pretty much mime, right? Like mascotting is just like you. There's probably so much you want to say, but it's just you have to be in character the entire time, right?
Yeah, no, I never did any of that. And I gotta say, having mascot experience has been really helpful now that we all have to wear masks everywhere in public. It's like you can't read facial expressions, so I'm like using my hands a lot more. I'm like, okay, I'm good at this. But no, I never did anything before. And I always remember this Dave Raymond, the Philly fanatic that did our tryouts at York. I guess he told the York College athletic staff, he's like, I don't, I don't really like Rachel. I mean, her personality is not that great, but she was like okay in the costume, so like, we'll take her. You should add her. I'm like, okay, great.
I think I just remember because Screamer had like a big like belly, and like you could just like boop around like you were hula hooping the entire time, and it was just hilarious to be completely honest. But what was like? All right, so like in college, do you have like a favorite Screamer moment, or like anything like anything crazy that you had to do, or I'm sorry to laugh, but
I have a lot of.
Maya almost just walked in the dog.
I welcome her. You're
Yeah, I
always.
mean, if she wants to come in, she's more than welcome. All right, give it a little bit. But anyway, so favorite screamer moment, or
I always loved doing the women's basketball games, probably because I actually knew the people on the team. But um, a specific story, sometimes we would just get sent to places that we just very obviously did not belong.
like
Or
in the
like,
your community, like you have to go to like a giant and like stand outside and like perform type of thing, or
yeah, it's just like, who asked us to come here? Like,
let
for,
alone York College.
I remember being asked to go to a nursing home for craft day. And I remember like interacting with this elderly man, and he was like holding my hand like in the costume, and he goes, "Oh, you have some very ladylike hands. There's a lady in there. You must be real cute, aren't you?" And I'm like, okay. So I think I've had more weird moments than anything, but it's a
But
fun time. You're just like,
so
I'm gonna
like, can anything top that? Or like I'm all about the weird moment. So like if you have any type of like cuz you have to realize a lot of people don't understand this perspective because we just like the average person just sees someone and they're like, "Oh, like they believe that that mascot has like come to life." So like um I'm just trying to think even I used to work for a minor league baseball team and like our mascot was Herbie the Miner and like just kids go nuts when they see him.
kids.
Little, do you like kids?
Um, I like them from afar. I don't know. I'm much better with kids when I'm in a costume than as a human, which is really sad.
It's okay.
Kids are really a hit or miss as a mascot. Hit or miss.
Really? Like,
Literally hit though.
jeez. But have you ever had to do like? Oh, God, I was about to say, have you ever like dropped a kid? But I don't think you're allowed to like pick them up or anything like that.
Um, oh no, I will not hold a child. No, and they didn't tell us this at York, but for my NFL team, they made it very clear: do not hold any children. Like, number one rule: don't, if somebody tries to hand you a baby, just no, no, I'm not holding your child, because just so many things can go wrong. Also, like, just, why are you handing your baby over to? I don't know.
A
That seems weird.
stranger in a costume.
But again, I have a different perspective. But like, because I can't see. like, I
Yeah, well, I was about to say, like, because you, like, when the head goes over, you would, like, usually it's through the mouth, like, of the mascot you would see as the eyes, right?
yeah.
And, like, but your current, like, I guess, out uniform, we'll say, is like measured to you, right? Like,
No,
oh,
it is very much built for like a 6 foot, 200 pound man. So it definitely it swallows me up. I can't. It's hard. I can't see. It's hard to move. But
now, contrary, like, is there any like myths about uniforms? Like apparently people will say at Disney, like they're like cool. There's like a fan in there, or like little, or do you get just like a little spray bottle and like,
okay, if that's true about Disney, they are so spoiled. No, we don't get a fan. No, we don't. No, we have nothing but sweat in there. Like I don't have a fan. I don't have anything.
love it. Um, so so let me ask you. So what would you say is like the least, or your least favorite part about being an NFL mascot? Like um when you go into work every Sunday or whenever you have to do events, what do you dread doing?
I love absolutely everything about it. However, I hate the way I feel the next day.
Oh,
The costume is pretty heavy, and the way that it gets strapped on, oh my God, the back pain. Like I'm only 27 and I'm feeling this, and there are people that are mascots like significantly older than me. I'm like, I don't know how y'all do it. But that's the only drawback for
so
me.
like what happens? Are you so how long have you been doing it? Like, would this technically been like this NFL season would have, it wouldn't have been your first, right?
Within
Second.
second,
So like last year, let's say, are you allowed to like interact with other mascots? Like you know how sometimes they'll like jab each other, go back, like pretend to fight or whatever. Do you ever do that when at a game, or are you just more interacting with the fans?
so that interacting with other mascots is just always encouraged. Like mascots are just drawn to each other.
Okay.
It's
It's just like a fraternity, I want to say. Like you guys, everyone just knows, like you're in the costume and you just, everyone kind of understands like what they're going through.
That's a good way to put it. It's a very weird fraternity, but yeah, it's a very small community.
Is there a union? Is there a NFL mascots union?
There should be. One, I think, misconception is that a lot of people think that mascots travel to other stadiums. They don't. Um, it's the home team's mascot that's there, so you don't generally see like opposing team mascots there.
Oh, okay.
I think probably like the Super Bowl would be the only exception to that.
Okay. Touche.
Not the
The big game, because we're technically not allowed to say that we don't
big,
have the expressed written consent of
big game.
the big
Yes.
game. Ooh. Are you watching the big game? I'll be watching the big game. Anyway, what else do I have for you? Um, so you said you love everything, but like if you had to pick a favorite part of it, like what would it be? Like is it getting to like see players, go into like the locker room type, like be by the locker room? Um, is it like getting to be by like the owner of the team and stuff like that? Or you have you not, or you ever see him, or
He, ooh, where were this? I have not seen him.
okay.
Um, so hmm, there are several of us on the mascot team, and because I'm so new, I'm there on game days, but I'm not in costume for game days. So we have a few hundred appearance requests per year just in the community. So those are
Yeah.
the ones that I do in costume. Um,
So
so
you
I
go to like schools and stuff. So you
yeah,
go into, okay.
yeah, but game days, like I'm there, I'm following the mascot around and sort of making
You're like his
sure,
trainer, quote unquote.
yes, the
Yes.
handler. I'm the
Yes.
handler.
Yes.
And I mean, honestly, I want to say that's kind of cooler that I get to actually like kind of watch the game. I'm on field as a human.
That's awesome.
So I get to
I'm
actually see
very
it.
jealous. I'm actually super jealous.
It's here.
I kind of want to hang up right now. Anyway, um, so you said there's a mascot team. How many people does it take to successfully make that part of the organization run? And is it usually the same for like other organizations, do you think? Like give or take?
I think it depends on the organization and the amount of appearances that they do and their level of involvement in the community. For us, it's four of us, and there's one main person. And we each get our own costumes, whereas in college, you have eight people sharing one costume. It is
Mm.
different. So it depends on the organization.
Now, how did they, going back to Screamer, how did they decide what sports you'd be at? Or you just have to go around to, they just lug you around to everyone, your handler?
I I don't know. We took turns, like who was the quote handler and who was in costume, and we had like a Google Doc where appearances would just show up on the schedule. But
Interesting.
sometimes like we would go to like a tennis match or a golf tournament, and people are like, "Who? Why is Screamer here? Like, who invited you?" I'm like, "I
Golf
don't know. It
tournament.
was on my schedule. I don't want to be here either. This is awkward."
That's hysterical. And like, you have to, that sucks because you have to be quiet anyway. So it's not too bad for like a golf match. But, um,
Well,
so
Screamer doesn't scream, so like,
yeah, what
what a
exactly?
genius name.
So we'll break here. And we're back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hi, Rachel.
Hello, Sir Nicholas.
It's Saint Nicholas to you.
Oh, excuse me.
You you shall be excused. Anyway, so before we were talking about how just like your adventures of being an NFL mascot, and so I guess like what do you do now? Like I know it's not your full-time gig, or is it? Like do you so like what's the goal with mascotting, and like you just got your masters, so like what's the plan now? What are you doing?
Man, I wish. No, I don't. I wish it was my full-time gig, but then I also don't because it's really hard on you physically. But that
Hold
is
on
the
really quick.
yeah.
Hey, can you guys move the mouse out of the middle of the screen? Okay, thank you. So continue. You wish it was full time, and then you don't because it's very physically demanding and you can't handle it.
I
What?
can't handle the day after, okay? It's like a hangover. It's a physical
So is this
body.
podcast. I'm just kidding, but
You
so
are you kidding? What I actually do that does not bring me as much joy as mascotting. I am a um I'm a consultant for a large firm based out of the DC area. And I do anti-human trafficking stuff.
so
But I
like
also
why this may be a very stupid question, but like why does it have to be anti trafficking? Like it shouldn't just trafficking be anti to begin with? Like
well, if I say I do trafficking work, that sounds like I'm the human trafficker. I
okay.
have to specify anti-human trafficking.
Yeah, I send people from here and I take them out somewhere else.
So yes, was a dumb question.
Anyway, oh Jesus. Um, so anti-trap. So like, please go. So like Law and Order SVU type of like stuff, or like more intense, less intense, not even the same.
Man, I wish. I'm not on that side of things. I'm on sort of a not yeah, I'm on a corporate side of it, so I just kind of sit behind a computer. But I do work with those that are on that side and sort of help them do their job a little better. I'm trying to be
So like,
intentionally vague about it.
can you? I'm trying to think. Can
I know
you?
it's hard when I have 2 jobs that I can't be super specific about.
Yeah, right. So what was your master's in?
Forensic investigation.
Okay. And so, like, what would you like to do with that? And if I remember correctly, you're going back and starting like this week, next week. You started already?
Yeah, I started this week.
That sucks. I promised myself I would never do homework again.
I don't know what is wrong with me.
You
So
just like being in debt. It's okay. Oh no, you didn't you say your work's paying for it anyway?
yeah, they are.
So never mind.
See, it's cool because like they're paying for it, but then I also get to keep deferring my student loan payments. You see how
Ooh,
that works? You see how that
yes,
works?
yes, yes.
So that is the
You just seen
major.
how like high you can get your loans up, and just before you're just like, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep getting degrees and certificates. I'm just never gonna pay a goddamn
Do it.
thing.
Beat the system.
uh,
But so um, what made you want to get into that? Like, so you said you went to York for criminal justice. Like, what was like? I no offense, and I don't. You don't really take me as like a cop.
Listen, I got that a lot, but also because you say that, wouldn't I make a great undercover? Exactly.
I don't. To be honest, I just with how much shit has been going wrong to try and get you onto this podcast and everything up and recording. I don't know. I feel like we breaker went out in the middle of it. It's very very interesting. I feel like you have like some type of omen following you around.
Yeah. What was the question?
What got you? So like you went to school for criminal justice. Like, did you originally want to become a cop? What happened?
I still don't really know what I want to do with my life, but I like changed my mind multiple times, like in college, before college, after college. I did want to be a cop, and then I interned for a department, and then I was like, "Eh, nope." However, they did let me do a lot of fun things that probably would never be allowed in 2021. And I thinking about it now, I'm like, why do they ever let me do that? Like, I would do ride-alongs with the officers, and I like remember one stop where they had me go up to the car and like knock on the window and ask for their ID. I don't know what I'm doing. And then I remember another stop. I was just like observing, but so the officer found like a shit ton of weed in this guy's car, and there were like maybe 3 guys in the car, and then he started searching the car, and he found a Billy Ray Cyrus cassette tape, and the cop is like, I will let all of you go if you can sing me one Billy Ray Cyrus song. And they all started singing Achy Breaky Heart like together, and then he let them all go. It was hilarious. But anyways,
And you
yeah,
let him keep the weed?
no, he took the weed.
Oh, okay. I was about to say
But
that's a pretty that's a pretty
no,
good deal.
he did not let the weed go. He just let the people go.
There you go.
Their weed.
Interesting. That's actually hysterical. That's like some super trooper shit.
Yeah, it was fun, but nothing. I was like, I'm not gonna do this with my life.
Okay, fair enough. But so let me ask you a question. And this is a question that's been on my mind for a while,
Oh,
and
it's gonna be a test.
I just need to know the answer. Why is there so much Maryland pride?
We're born into it. I don't know. It just comes naturally.
Like
Why
Old
don't
Bay
you
does
love
not
your
belong
state?
on everything because
Yes, it
if you
does.
lived
Yes,
in
it
New
does.
Jersey for 26 years, it would demoralize you a little bit too.
I'm sorry that you live in a shithole state.
Hey, we used to have the lowest gas prices in the country.
We used to.
Yes, sir.
It's because we can't pump our own gas.
No, but we pump fists though.
Shut-
But
It's just I don't know. Like
like the
Maryland's always
flag, like literally the flag on everything, like literally like what do
wait,
you have? What do you have over there?
can you
Yeah, yep.
I was like, I know I have some Maryland something around here. Have you had Old Bay? Do you know?
Yeah, I mean I've had it. I know it doesn't belong on everything.
Have you had a Bo Rita? A Bo Rita?
You mean a natty bow?
Rimmed with Old Bay?
I can't say that I have. Is
Well,
that
I
just
suppose you try it sometime.
what? And then just
Immerse yourself in the
is that what
culture.
people drink with like their crab, like the whole Maryland? Like
Yeah.
I don't understand how.
I
Also,
I I don't have an answer as to why. It's a thing that happens.
like it's
I
just
can't
something you're
explain
born
it.
with.
Yeah. Maybe she's born with it.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Oh, we're probably not allowed to say that. God damn
Maybe it's
it. Maybe
inserting the culture.
Maryland's interesting, but all right. So, well, let's throw it back a little bit. We both attended York, so why did you choose York College of Pennsylvania? Because it was the cheapest school you applied to.
So I applied there when I was a senior in high school. I don't know why. Maybe because I had a free application. Got in, ended up going to community college, ended up failing out of community college with a .6 GPA. Took some time off, worked a little bit, and
I
I was
feel like you
like,
have to work hard to get a .6.
listen, it took talent to get a .6, let me tell you.
How many classes total did you go to?
I don't know, but it probably fit on
Enough to
my
count
hand.
on.
Yeah, it was bad.
um,
I think I just reapplied because I was like, I got in there in high school. Let me try again. Like
wait,
there
so
was,
York let you in with a .6 GPA?
they don't know about that. I started over. I was super paranoid about that, and I like made a fake email address and I emailed their admissions department, and I was like, hey, do I have to start over? Like, I have like one class I passed. Can I transfer that? She goes, unfortunately, you're just gonna have to keep attending community college till your grades are improved. And I was like, I don't like that answer, so I just started over. I was like very paranoid.
It's
Listen,
funny because, well, it's funny. I was actually denied from York at first, believe it or not.
York denies people.
Yeah, surprisingly. So I moved high schools my senior year, and the maths were different. Like I don't know when they sent in my transcripts, like it was weird, and so like I got a letter saying from like thank you for submitting your application, but unfortunately due for whatever. And I wasn't gonna tell like anyone anything, but I brought it into my guidance counselor, and she was just like, I was like, I didn't get into York, and she looked at me like dumbfounded, like you didn't get into York? No, no, no,
York.
something's not right. And so she like made a couple phone calls, and I ended up like getting in. So lo and behold, I got denied from the school that I ended up going to.
They deny people. That's hilarious. And you're one of them. You're like the one person.
All right, listen, point
That's great.
six.
Listen, I got nothing to say to that.
We both would have been denied, okay?
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Technically, I was like a little denied by that admissions counselor.
Yeah. They prefaced your future. But all right, so what is your favorite memory of YCP? Oh, hey, Kat.
Um, it's hard to pinpoint a memory.
Touche.
Um, it's kind of weird because like I have a lot of fun memories with people that don't know who I am because I was Screamer so much.
Oh, yeah, but just you wearing the
Um,
costume.
yeah, I'm like, I know all of you. You don't know me.
Like what? Give me a story. Give me an example. For all
That was like my
12 listeners
conversation
that will
starter.
like.
All 12. Okay, I feel like it's a little lower.
Yeah.
So yeah, for grandpa.
Yes.
No, that was always like my conversation starter. If I like met people at Murph's or like in some questionable Jackson Street basement, I'm like, well, I'm Screamer, so like
Like, hey,
I know you.
you
You
want to
don't
buy me?
know
You want to buy me a drink? I'm Screamer.
me.
I'm that ugly fat green thing.
Yes.
Yes.
One like specific memory. So I lived with different roommates every single year, and I think my favorite year was my last one.
Okay.
Um, right after, it was
Did
either
you ever
right.
live? Did you ever live on Jackson?
I did my last year. I think
Oh,
that's
okay.
why it was the best one. Um, and those are the people that I still like really keep in contact with and like are still my good friends now. But um, either right before, because I graduated in December and they graduated in May that year,
Okay.
right before graduation or right after, me and two of the other girls made an entire rap and recorded it roasting everybody in our house, and it slapped a little bit. It was pretty good. I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but it was pretty good. I do have a SoundCloud. Is it on there? No, but I have some other material. But anyways, um, we like we spent like 2 or 3 days like straight on it. I think I don't, or maybe I was just like that drunk that it felt like it was that long. Um, but I think I would put that. I would put that on top of my list.
Okay. Now, least favorite moment.
Oh, oh, oh! I didn't know we were gonna go
Every
to dark
day.
place. Least favorite shit. I don't know. I had to take a bio class one semester, and that was bad. Maybe like every single day of that. I don't know. Least favorite moment. I don't know. I had a pretty good time at York. I don't have a whole lot of bad things to say about it. I had a lot of good friends, a lot of good professors that I was like pretty close with. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't have too
Um.
much negativity on that.
So going back to school and everything, or literally not having stopped going to school your entire life so far in your 27 years. Where do you see yourself at the end of this year, and then in at the end of 5 years? Like, where do you see yourself down the
See,
road, or do you hate
after 2020, I realized that those types of questions are unfair. Because if you asked me in 2015 where I would be 5 years from now, um, holed up in my house, like stockpiling toilet paper for
but
no
also
reason.
an NFL mascot?
Ah, shit, you're right. How old am I gonna be 5 years?
If
20.
you're 32, you'll be 32.
I'll be 30, 33. I'm turning 33.
So you'll probably be dead by then.
Yeah, well before then. It's on my before 30 list. 20, 30 things to do before you're 30. Die.
Yeah, pretty much.
I, so wait, at the end of this year and then 5 years from now?
At the end of this year, where do you see yourself, and then where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, do you see yourself becoming like one of those guys on NCIS that we were talking about beforehand, or do you see yourself actually becoming a cop, a detective, working in the FBI, CSI, anything I probably is getting tapped right now? Um,
Oh yeah, me and my FBI agent are really good friends. Um,
Figured.
End of this year, I don't see myself doing anything too much differently than I'm doing now. Maybe instead of half marathon training, I'll be doing full marathon training.
Like Iron Man? Oh, Iron
Oh,
Man?
that does that involve swimming?
Yes.
Oh, hell no. Nope. I can
No.
swim, I can't swim.
You can
It's
swim, but you can't swim?
I can
You can
if I
float.
fall into a body of water, I can live. Um,
Okay.
otherwise, 5 years from now.
So we can eliminate
So,
lifeguard off the list.
oh yeah, no, that was your job at York.
It was actually.
Yeah, I remember that. I used to go hide at the pool when I was campus security. Remember, I would sit there and talk
You
to
were Campo too. That's right. Oh
for
my
like
God.
2 months. For 2 months.
That's right. I remember now. Jeez.
Yeah,
Baccarella walking her beat. Oh, God.
yeah. I had a lot of good hiding spots, and it was real disappointing whenever you weren't working in the pool. I'm like, damn, I gotta go sit somewhere else. Um, 5 years from now. So second master's is in cybersecurity and digital forensics. I want to be doing some sort of.
So that's like made up, right?
Oh no, the other one's made up.
Oh.
The other one's made up. This one's legitimate.
Oh.
Working for
This
like
one's
law
not from
enforcement.
Phoenix. What's that? What's that?
Phoenix shit.
Phoenix University of Phoenix.
Strayer University.
Yeah. Full set, not full set.
Wholesale.
What's that? ITT Tech.
Was there like education connection?
The
What am I-
Education Connection. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Get connected for free. So yeah, 5 years. Come on. You're probably still doing this podcast. Jesus Christ.
I hope so. I'll come back in 5 years.
Do it. Let's see how big we've gotten.
Where are they now?
I'm just stuck in the studio because I can't. I don't know what. I don't have anywhere else to live.
This disastrous
I
first
think the desk
podcast.
folds up, so it's okay. I can make room.
I civilian employee for a law enforcement agency doing computer forensics. Like finding
Why couldn't you just be a normal employee? Why does it have to be a civilian employee?
well, to be like a sworn employee, you have to like go through like police training, and you have to actually be like a police officer, and you have to go through like all
Campus
the
safety officer doesn't work.
hey.
So
I'm usually quicker on my toes. I got nothing for that.
it's all right. I can win them occasionally. So last question, before we break again. So if you could tell your younger self one thing that you know now, what would it be?
How young? Important.
You choose. I mean, if it's first grade Rachel, where it's you need to like show up to the scene of like her about to set the
Setting
house
my
on fire, you're just like no, like let's just.
You don't have to do this.
Yeah, no, there's better ways.
Damn. So if I'm being honest, which I usually am,
I would hope
right?
so.
Before I went to York, and still kind of during my time at York, so I'm not super close with my parents at all. And so like there was a period of time where I didn't like have a place to live, and sometimes during school breaks at York, like I would have to like finesse some things, or like stay at a friend's place for like a month or so during winter break and stuff. I would say like, I mean, this is like very cliche, but like it's gonna be fine, you know, you're gonna have a place to live, you're gonna
Like
be
you
a
don't need to
functional
worry.
adult. Like it's gonna be good.
Like we just create our own anxieties, more or less. Like just like by like what like the answer will come, but like we're just so anxious about getting to the answer.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
I gotcha. Well, that's awesome. I mean, I totally get it. I mean, I'm not really close to my parents either. I am, but like there's everyone's different. Some shit happens and it just kind of puts life into perspective. And I mean, really now with that story though, it's going to be hard for me to guess this two lies and the truth because I was leaning one way and now and I definitely know you don't play five instruments. So like it's between two. and I really don't know which one it is. But let's break. I'll add in a sponsor or something, and when we come back, um, I will guess the truth, and we'll
Yeah.
I got a couple of questions left for her, and we'll just yeah. All right, and we're back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's up?
I don't know. Actually, this.
You can
Hey,
drink a quite impressive amount, I must say.
thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you for
You're welcome.
recognizing my talents.
You're very welcome. Like I've lost count, and not that there has been a lot to count, and I'm not trying to for the people listening. She's she's not an alcoholic yet, but I'm impressed. She's just like she's slamming down some beer, and nothing wrong with that. Um, so just to like finish up here, I guess I think it's time now to. You know what? Before I guess the lie, I'm gonna ask you two questions. I'm gonna give you two would you rather's,
All right,
and
let's do it.
and so first one, would you rather with your bare hands kill an average human baby or 100 cute puppies?
Baby, no question.
You did not take very long to think about that question. Would you like to would you give us your reasoning behind that?
First of all, I'm not ashamed of that. Think about if I were to kill 100 puppies, let's think about all of the potential, like seeing eye dogs
All the
that
kisses,
I,
all the
you
cuddles.
know, I don't know. It seems like an easy question to
No,
me.
you're right. Like, what if you just get rid of the next Hitler? And like, babies are just a lot. Like, they're just a lot.
Yeah, and they,
Anyway, we don't need
wait,
to
you
digress.
can diapers, screaming,
Yeah, you
crying,
don't need to
and
change a dog.
you don't.
No,
You
and
do.
you don't need to send a dog to college unless that dog is Airbud. But even so, he's going on scholarship, so it doesn't really matter.
I wasn't even thinking about that, like the lifelong commitment.
Yeah, right? Like so much of okay, anyway. Um and then the next would you rather? I think this one's a good one. Would you rather be able to fly anywhere you want but max speed at 15 miles an hour
Wait,
or
like I'm flying as a human.
yes, like you can
Okay.
just like lift off and go, but you can't fly fast. You can only go like 15 miles an hour. Or would you rather live in a world full of Pokemon?
Fly 15 miles an hour.
Really, you wouldn't want just some like creature that could just like zap something or like that could fly
No.
you somewhere and be okay. Okay, fair enough. I respect the
First
answer.
of all, not all Pokemon are going to be so like cooperative. Like, hey, pick me up and fly me somewhere. I don't know. When you said fly anywhere, even if it's only 15 miles an hour, I'm thinking about I live in Maryland. I got DMV traffic that moves at an average of like 0.2 miles an hour. I could just move
But you
myself.
only you like you can't like with your car you can't like just be like all right I'm out of here. You gotta just lift
I can
off.
just get out of my car. Fuck
Yeah,
the car.
yeah, I guess right. Like
Fuck everybody else.
see a sucker. Like you're just where's she going so slowly? But okay, fair enough.
Thinking
So
hard about
I
Pokemon.
think now I'm going to guess the lie. And to remind the audience, the two lies and a truth
Yes.
were
Wait, so two lies and a truth, right? That's correct.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So instead of two truths and a lie, we're switching things. So It was you set your parents' house on fire when you were 5 years old
In the first grade, yeah.
in the first grade. You met Shania Twain, and you play 5 musical instruments.
Yes.
So, like I said, since I don't see anything any remotely musical or instrument wise by you or near you, I'm gonna throw that one away. I'm gonna say that's a lie. I'm also, and this may shock some people, I'm also gonna say that you did not burn your parents' house down in the first grade. So I'm going to say the truth is, unless unless you didn't specify, I'm thinking whole house, and I'm pretty sure you like. But anyway, my my truth is that you have in fact met Shania Twain because I know you are a very big Shania Twain fan. Come on, girls. So like
Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa. It's Let's Go, Girls. Okay, get your
exactly.
lyrics
See what I mean? I
right.
can't even.
Right. The
My
cat's name
bad.
was Swain that you saw earlier.
So am I right?
Nope,
Wait, I'm not.
you are incorrect. I have not met Shania Twain. That would just be a dream. I did not set my parents' house on fire in first grade. That was actually my father that did that. Um, it was an accident. I should clarify. Um, and then I can actually play 5 instruments.
Can you really?
So thank
Wow,
you.
I kind of just totally eliminated myself like beforehand. Wow. Good
Yeah.
poker face. Wait, so what can you play?
Guitar, bass, drums, ukulele, piano. I'm not as good at piano,
Proof it
but
or it didn't happen.
realistically, what'd you say?
Proof or it didn't happen. Go get an acoustic guitar right now. Okay?
I just like foresaw this
That's a
happening.
capo. Look at that.
Do you play guitar? Or
No,
did you just like some
I
other things
suck.
fun?
I'm the jock of the family. I kind of sing, but I'm not even good at that point. So
You kind of sing?
I kind of sing. I'm
What
taking
does that
voice
mean?
lessons. Does that count?
Oh, you're taking voice lessons?
I am actually.
What kind of I don't know how that works. Like what
So
kind of
like there's actually so one of the lead singers of one of my favorite bands was like made like a sponsored video, like advertisement on Facebook.
Oh, you got suckered by one of those targeted ads.
No, but it's not even that. Like I've Zoom call with him every other week and like I'm not even kidding. I do voice lessons with him for like an hour every other week. I do la fa la 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 la's and like all the
What?
yeah, like the breathing exercises and everything and
That's super cool.
yeah.
You seem like you have like a good like alternative.
Like I try to like I write. Like I'd like to write and sing, but I don't sing
Mhm.
well, so I would like to be better. But I think pretty decent at writing. But what can you play? What's your favorite song to play?
See, that's as a person that like can play
Okay.
so many instruments. That's like a weird question. What songs can you play?
Well,
I
how
don't
long
know.
have you been playing? This is out of tune.
Oh, I fucked that
I am actually like thoroughly impressed right now.
up. Not musical at all. It's fine. It's
I
always
am eating crow. I am eating crow right now.
I love to see it. Love to see it.
Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well, first episode and I'm 0 for 1 already. So that really sucks.
I think it's a great start.
But um before yeah. Before I let you go really quick. So I know it's kind of a very niche thing and like it's more of a hobby I would say. mascotting, correct?
Yes.
Now, but like, what if there is any, like, what advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into this sort of thing?
The mascot world is just such a small community, and I hate to say this because people say this about like every job, but it really is like about who you know.
Yeah. That was the first thing I learned when we had our major classes at York. Or like, it was not what it's not what you know, it's who you know. I
Yeah, I'm
can't
like,
read. I can't
well,
read, but I know some very high up people. You know what I mean? But so just pretty much, but like any type of like, I guess more or less like just don't be afraid to try it or get out of your comfort zone or like.
yeah, it's all about getting out of your comfort zone. Like it's weird, like the
But
people
like,
that
so
I
like, what was your first initial thought? And like, sorry to date you, but like, what made you want to become Screamer?
Um, I needed a job, and that's what York had posted. I worked at Arita's Ice for like 10 years, and I was like, I was their mascot on the side of the road waving at people. His name was Ice Guy. Um, so I was like, oh, well, York has a mascot thing open. I was this like stupid cup of ice on the side of the road. I could probably do that. But being an actual mascot is not just like standing there waving at people. Like you have to actually interact with them. Um, and part of our training with the original Philly fanatic that has stuck with me, it's kind of like people can't see your face.
Yeah,
So like as a human, he would have us like in front of a mirror and he's like, act out this emotion, but keep your face totally neutral. So we had to use our bodies to like act out like
like
something sad,
display
happy,
emotion and stuff like that.
yeah. So I always think about that. That's really helped me. It's been, again, I use that now, having to wear a face mask
Yeah, right.
out in public.
Raise the eyebrows.
I'm like,
Yeah, you know how many times I've like smiled at people wearing a mask and it's just super redundant. And you're just like,
I'm like, oh, I'm just staring at you. Okay,
yeah,
that's what
yeah.
it's like.
Now my eyebrows are raised and I'm just like,
Yeah.
um, but so really quick before I let you go, um, I just want to say thank you one to two guys that aren't pictured. Um, my buddies Mike Volk and Nate Wamsley. Almost said it incorrectly.
Wow.
They have been the ones behind everything. I'm just the voice and the face, but they are the guys that have been putting in the work, and I literally could not have done any of this. And when I mean any of this, literally any of this without them. So I just want to say thank you to them and thank you to you for being my first guest and for being so cool with delays and me not knowing what time 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time is and starting this at 5 o'clock on a Saturday. But seriously, I appreciate you so much, and I think this was a great episode, and I think we can only go up from here, and I would love to check back in with you when hopefully I get more of a bigger following. But if so, just don't be a stranger. And Rachel, I appreciate you for stopping by the neighborhood.
Yeah, well, thanks for having me. I'm honored to be on the inaugural episode. And also shout out to your guys, Mike and Nate. Sorry, I did like so
But
yeah, thank you.
no problem.